Well, it's been a week or so now since that final trip to Northey, and I'm all prepped and ready for my first night on the new Syndicate. Off to do an overnighter. It's a Tuesday, and I haven't done an overnighter for a long time now. I can't remember the last one I did. So I'm really excited, looking forward to seeing the lake. I'm sure it looks a bit different to last time I see it, a bit more weed on the surface. The weather's obviously improved a lot now. So yeah, I've got an idea how I'm gonna start to fish it anyway, as we all do. Normally things change as time goes on, but I've got a good idea how I want to start, and we'll see how things go from there. Obviously it's early May, so I think I'm probably going to do 2 videos over the summer up till the fish spawn, and then after that. So yeah, we'll see how things go. I know it's going to be tricky on there. It's very small water, seeing lots of pressure these days, but yeah, we'll give it a good go. And yeah, I'm hoping I really enjoy it. I think there's going to be a good social scene on the lake, which I'm not really used to. You know, as I said in the past, I do opt for lakes that sort of I can be alone, or definitely areas of the lake that I can be alone, and I think I'll probably isolate myself a little bit. So yeah, looking forward to having a bit of a social scene, and yeah, getting involved with the guys on there, and just some nice enjoyable fishing. So yeah, let's get over there and see what happens. Well, it's been a pretty mental first visit to the lake. I've probably walked it 3-4 times now. I'm just trying to get my head around the size of the lake. It is small. There's a few guys on, but I've seen plenty of fish, and within about 20 minutes of being here, a guy called Jack, I know, has caught the biggest fish in the lake at over 43 pound, which is a lake record. So really nice to see it. Lovely carp. Yeah, right result for him. It was his first 40, so yeah, nice to see that. And then another chap that's here caught one nearly 29 pound, like nearly fully scaled. So yeah, really nice to see some fish. And yeah, I've just been sitting with Lee and seen a fish show to his left. The fish seemed to be in the main bowl of water. So yeah, gonna get my kit now. I've not got a lot of light left, and yeah, just ship out a couple of rods, and yeah, see what happens. But it is weedy, and I think I need to get out in the boat and, you know, do some leading trips, because it's going to be really tricky to do overnighters without knowing the lake. So yeah, I'll try and get a little bit of video footage of the lake, and I've got a little bit of video of Jack with the big one as well. So yeah, good start. So yeah, I'm gonna get the kit out and get some rods out.
Your hair's in the wrong place, Jack.
Can't believe it.
Well done.
It's the nuts, mate. Well, I haven't missed these early pack ups, but what a beautiful morning. The sun's just coming up on the opposite bank. Yeah, really beautiful. Lovely place to wake up to. Kettle's just coming to the boil now. Didn't go to bed with particularly high hopes, to be honest. I think I'm gonna have to have a little bit of a rethink of when I'm fishing this bowl. Yeah, I think I've come with the intention of fishing with a spoon, and I don't think that's going to be possible in all areas of the lake. Like I said yesterday, I think I need a real good look in the boat, get a better idea of what's going on out there, and give me a better idea of how I can fish the place. But definitely want to use the spoon. I think down in the shallows I'm going to get away with it, but I'm not sure down this end. So yeah, enjoyable first trip, bit of an eye-opener. Yeah, seen plenty of fish, plenty of signs. So yeah, that's what I'm really looking forward to, is getting out in the boat and getting a better idea of what I'm up against. So yeah, really positive trip. So yeah, looking forward to getting back already. We are back down the lake for my second session, and the rods are out, and I'm feeling much more confident this time. I think that first trip I very nearly didn't fish. I think it was probably only because there was a couple of guys there I knew. I see a fish show between the two of them, and I thought that will do, I'll get some rods out. But I think it opened my eyes a little bit to the way I was planning to target the lake. I think I will be able to fish that way, but I need a better knowledge of the lake. I need to get out in the boat, I need to do more leading, I need a better knowledge to be able to fish it that way. So if anything, I've gone back to how I was fishing Northey, and I've got 2 nights, so Soph's working tomorrow. So I said to her, you know, I might as well do another night. I'm working Monday for the bank holiday, so I'll just pack up early and go then. So yeah, I've got over. It's a busy lake. I think there were 6 on when I got here. Bearing in mind there's only 10 swims, but the area that I wanted to get in was free. See fish straight away, got up the tree and see 2 very big fish. So quickly got rods sorted. I've managed to find a spot that I'm pretty happy with. I don't think it's clean, but I'm getting a nice drop off of it. It's not a big area, but it's right amongst where I see those 2 big fish. So rods have gone out, feeling pretty confident, a lot more confident than the other day, and it's nice now I've got a bit of time. I'm down in the shallower end of the lake, and tomorrow's meant to be a real scorcher, so I'm banking on the fish turning up if they don't tonight. So yeah, fingers crossed, I might get my first chance. Right, we are off the mark. I don't really believe it. Just as I was getting ready for bed, I heard a fish slosh down my left-hand margin where I've got a rod placed, and from up the tree earlier, that's where I actually see the biggest fish in the lake, the same common that I see last week in that area. When I left last week, I had some bait left and I just peppered it all along this sort of area. And yeah, literally was just changing my wet hoodie into a dry one, and the rod down that area is absolutely melted off. Had a really good battle. There's a lot of weed in this lake, and yeah, it was a lot of sort of tugging back and forth between the weed. I actually thought it was a really small fish. It sounded like it was slapping the water a lot, but it's not. It's a good one. I don't know what fish it is. Every fish in this lake is named, but it's a really scaly one and it's a big one. So yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. So just going to get some kit together and get sorted. It's only early. So yeah, what a result. Second night in and we've got one. Buzzing. Have a look at that. Ain't a small one, and he is covered in scales. What a wicked start. Buzzing. Well, this has come as a complete shock. An unbelievable fish. I don't know what fish it is. It's obviously a named one. 3212. It's a good one as well. Absolutely covered in scales. Very wide fish. It's not happy. So let's see if it plays ball. Have a look at him. What a start. Absolutely unbelievable carp. Huge tail. I'm absolutely chuffed. Changed a few things, like I said. Felt so much more confident going into the night. What a buzz. What a start. Absolutely made up with him. Buzzing. Good morning. I thought I'd bring you up to speed a little bit after what went on last night. Obviously over the moon to get off the mark with such a special fish. Turns out that fish is actually known as Night Rider, and it's one of the really sought after fish in the lake. I knew it was pretty special, but I haven't checked out all the fish and their names, and yeah, that fish is a twice a year fish. Normally comes out in May and October. So yeah, obviously chuffed to sort of have proven that the things I changed have worked, the bait's working. Yeah, so really positive start. So we're on for a really warm day today. The sun's sort of in and out, but it's warm now, and there's definitely fish out in front already. Just making some breakfast now. Jack's next door. We're gonna have a bit of a barbecue, which will be really nice. I'm gonna pop home, get sorted, and then get back. Whether I stay put in this swim, I'm not sure. There was a lot of activity in front of it yesterday afternoon, moving into the evening. So if I see those signs, then I'll definitely be staying put. After doing all the leading and what have you yesterday, I'm confident that I'll just get the rod straight back out. So yeah, based on this warm weather, I reckon it's highly likely that I'll stay in here. A couple of guys have left now, so there are some options in the main bowl, but as I say, I think with this real warm weather, then yeah, the fish will be coming down into this area. As well as me catching that fish, not long after, Jack actually went and caught the big one again, so it was definitely it that I see from up the tree, which is unbelievable. A shame for it to get caught so close to its previous capture, but when I see it up the tree, it did look very active, and I thought there's a good chance that fish will come out again. So yeah, he's gutted, but the fish I caught was the one that he was desperate for. That's the last one that he really wants, so yeah, bit of a weird one. And another couple of fish have come out around the lake, so it's fishing really well. So yeah, fingers crossed I get a chance for another one, but if not, I'm really happy, and yeah, just enjoying it. It's a very different lake or syndicate than I'm used to, you know. Sort of had a curry last night, gonna have a barbecue today. I'm not used to this sort of social style of fishing, but yeah, I'm gonna enjoy it. It's really nice. So yeah, fingers crossed there's a chance of another one. Get a look at that. Some proper sunshine, some real warmth to this. Feels really good out there. I've moved that right hand rod. See what I thought was a spot glowing out there, so I thought I've got to put a lead on it. Instantly got a real nice drop, so decided to give that a try for tonight. Left hand rod where I had the fish has gone back out there. Feeling pretty confident. There's definitely a few milling about out there, probably more to my left at the minute. But they were really active going into the afternoon and evening yesterday, so hoping for more of that. But this time I'll be set up and ready. Time for a barbecue. Right, well, it's just been a mental sort of 45 minutes. Just caught my second fish. I'm just walking back up the track now. Sophie just come over to see me, which was really nice. Spent a little while with her, and while we were sat there, a fish showed sort of 2 rod lengths to the left of the rod that I moved. I sort of felt like the chance was on, and probably half hour later, rod went, nice slow sort of take. Fish started taking line, but straight away I could see that it was moving through weed, and it bunged me up pretty solid, to be honest. The weed was probably a bit denser out there than I thought, and after a good probably 20 minutes of sort of pulling at it, the light was fading, and Lee and Jack said to me, do you want to get the boat out? And I thought, if we're going to do it, we need to do it now. So Lee come out, and big thank you to him. Got over on top of it, and as you normally find, it sort of, the weed bunches up a bit and the line slides down, or the weed slides down the line, and yeah, made contact with the fish again. See, it was a nice mirror, and he went shooting off in the lake, and I guess the battle begun from there, because the fish hadn't really done a lot from the initial run, and yeah, he was pulling us all over the place. Bit of a unorthodox netting with the weed on the line. It sort of clipped onto the net, and I really thought I was going to bump him off, but luckily next swoop got him up, and a really nice one. Not sure what fish it is, I haven't looked, but real pretty mirror, 26 pound. So yeah, Jack got some nice snaps just as the light was fading. It was nice for Soph to see it as well. So yeah, as I say, just heading back now, going to get the rod back out, and yeah, fingers crossed there might well be another chance. But to have had 2 fish on my first sort of proper trip, like I said, that overnight was a bit half-hearted really. I'm really happy with that, you know. So yeah, big buzz, big thanks to the lads for helping out, and yeah, going to get the rod out now, off early in the morning to work tomorrow. But really enjoyed this trip. It's been really nice to sort of enjoy the perks of fishing somewhere locally. Popped home earlier, you know, Soph's come over to see me, and yeah, just been a really enjoyable trip. So I think I'm going to enjoy it. It's been a really nice day, and yeah, topped off in the best possible way with a fish. So yeah, buzzing.
Go on, scoop it down,
Get in that net, girl.
Good.
Yes!
Right, you hold it down with the rope back.
Right, we are back. It's a Thursday evening, just doing an overnighter, and I'm at the opposite end of where I caught those 2 fish last week, in a swim called Weedy Corner. And I was actually at the lake this morning about 6 o'clock. Just wanted to do a bit of prep if the lake was quiet, which it was. There was only 2 guys on. So I really like the look of this swim. As the name suggests, it gets very, very weedy, and there was little signs of spots out there, so I wanted to rake a couple of small spots close in and just get a couple of handfuls of bait on there. So that's what I did this morning, and it was quite evident that there was fish opposite me. So yeah, I didn't really plan to fish the spots. It was meant to be quite sunny this afternoon, but it's not happened. Got over, it was chucking down with rain, and as soon as I walked down here, there was obviously fish in front, so didn't really want to fish the spots. They're not really spots yet, but you can't ignore an opportunity. So raced back, got the kit, and I've got the rods out really quickly, just a handful of bait on each. And as I was putting the left hand rod out, I see a pod of 4 fish come swimming through. The one at the front, I'm certain, was the big one, which I think will come out again before spawning. It looks very, very active, and it's already been caught twice this spring, so I think there's a high probability of that one coming out again. It's obviously on the munch. But the other 3 with it were big uns as well. So whether they'll stay here tonight, there's a lot of weed out here, but they obviously want to be here at the minute. And you know, I've baited the spots this morning, so I'm almost certain that fish would have fed on them spots at some point today. So yeah, feeling really confident, and it's really nice to be back and enjoying it. You know, I was unsure whether I'd enjoy fishing this place, and so far it's really got under my skin. So yeah, fingers crossed something happens. Right, off to work we go. Barrow's all loaded. Really exciting trip, nothing happened. Moving into the night, didn't really hear loads more. That was kind of my worry, whether they were going to move out of this weed into the night. But this morning I've seen quite a few signs out. There's been a few shows, but no real activity on the spots as such. But both rods come back really clean, which is a nice sign after that raking. So I'm going to keep the bait trickling on those spots, and I can see me doing a bit of time in this swim. I really like it. So yeah, really enjoyable trip, and yeah, can't wait to get back. So I'm probably not going to, you know, film all these overnighters, because I'm sure I'm going to be racking up the blanks on them. So yeah, I'll just film as of when anything really happens. So yeah, I'll catch up with you maybe next time. Well, some mornings are better than others. Look at that sunrise. And we have got one. New swim. Not fished this one before. Is a popular swim. I've done a couple of overnighters since I spoke to you last, in the same weedy corner. Made a change. We've got one of the known ones. I think it's called 3 scale. What a buzz. What a carp that one is. Absolutely buzzed to have got that. So as I said, I've done 2 more overnighters in Weedy. So since I spoke, so I've done two nights in there. And as I said, the spots, I'd prepped them, you know, they weren't really ready to fish, and the fish have been there in numbers, so I couldn't really avoid it. So I ended up moving the right hand rod to a more known spot, because I'd seen fish there, and I sort of wanted to leave the 2 that I'd prepped alone, but nothing come of that. So I've come down the next night. So I'm actually going away tomorrow for 5 days, so I was quite keen to get a couple of nights in, as the thought of the fish spawning is on my mind. So got down, and the lake was empty, there was no one fishing, so I thought, right, I'm going to make the most of this, get out in the boat. So I got out in the boat, got all my marks in the shallow area of the lake, so basically got 5 swims all marked up, and I decided that I was going to fish a swim called the Spam, which is a really popular one. I know it's a popular swim, but it controls quite deep water, and based on what I'd seen from the morning that I'd done, there was fish down this end, and when I went out in the boat I see a fish shoot off out into this area, so quite quickly found some really nice spots. There's some real big areas sort of in the middle, as you'd imagine, but coming off of those I got some really nice drops amongst weed, and went to bed quite confident, but you know, didn't see a great deal in front of me, whereas the night before in Weedy seen loads of fish, and yeah, early hours it was off. So yeah, what a carp. I'm really happy with that one, and big thanks to Alex, he got some lovely photos for me, so yeah, really happy, so I can go away a happy man. We are back at the lake. So I've been in Portugal for the last 5 days, had an amazing trip, nice to have a little bit of a recharge, but I was itching to get back to the lake. Popped over this morning before work, and there was 2 guys fishing. Didn't really see a lot. I see a couple of shows, but nothing major. Trickled a little bit of bait into the shallows, but after returning there was you know, a lot of fish in the main bowl, again down in Weedy Corner where they had been. There's someone fishing down in there, so I've decided to go into Spam where I caught the last fish. This is mainly because the lake's actually having the weed cut tomorrow, so I wanted to fish a swim that I knew, as I didn't really want to go into a swim that I don't know, and obviously as of tomorrow the weed's going to be quite different. I've never fished a lake that's had the weed cut, so I'm a little bit apprehensive. I've been told it does go quite slow afterwards, so yeah, I was quite desperate to get a trip after returning. So yeah, just put the rods out. I've gone out really nice, took a couple of attempts. I'm fishing for a real specific drop, where I had that fish last week. It was, you know, if you were left to right at the spot, it just didn't feel right, and I've got them both out there nice. There's definitely fish out there, so yeah, really hopeful. And as I say, moving on from this trip, the weed is going to be cut in the main bowl, so yeah, feeling quite apprehensive as to how much that's going to change things. But yeah, going to make some dinner, kick back and enjoy this beautiful evening. Have a look at that. Not quite the same as Portugal, but lovely nonetheless. I am a wounded man this morning, so lost one. Had a take about, well, just coming up to midnight, and the fish really moved in on me going into the evening. I went to bed so confident. There was a lot of fizzing on the right hand area, and I see a really big fish show just off the spot, and going to bed I just knew it was a matter of time until the rod went. And yeah, woke up to a take on the right hand rod, which is where I had the last fish from. Fish sort of moved a little bit at first, and it went on this real violent run, and it ripped me through a weed bed. I could feel it going through the weed bed, and anyway, felt very fast. So although it was powerful, it did feel fast, so I can't really say if it was a big fish or a small fish. And anyway, I sort of cranked down to it, and you know, there was a bit of movement, and then it went solid. So by now it's midnight, and I've sort of to and froed for 10 minutes or so with it. So I eventually put the rod down, and then for the next hour or so it was just back and forth on the rest. Bobbing kept creeping up and pulling out the clip, but the fish just wouldn't take line. By this point I just thought, I've got to get the boat now, and to be honest, towards the end I had a feeling the fish had come off. The bobbin had started to drop, which that had just told me that the fish was no longer there. So went out in the boat, and yeah, as soon as I reeled down to it, I could just feel that the rod or where the line was pointing wasn't moving. It was in a fixed point. Quite often when you get out in the boat, straight away the line pings off, and you know, you either feel a fish or you know, you ping off in other directions. Whereas with this, I could just feel that the line was in one direction. And yeah, the fish had dumped me in the bottom of the weed bed. So just a shame, because had it happened in the daylight hours, I probably would have got the boat much sooner, rather than all the back and forth. So really frustrating. I mean, huge confidence builder again, another bite, but you don't want to be losing any in here, especially at the minute. there's a couple of fish that are really, well, you know, could be really big at the minute, and they haven't been out. And as I say, I see a really big fish just off the spot yesterday, so I can't say if it was a big fish or a small fish, but either way I'm gutted. I don't want to be losing any. So I didn't put the rod back out. I didn't want to create any more disturbance. There's fish in front of me again this morning. So yeah, just feel really disappointed really. There may be a chance on this rod. Got about an hour, so gonna have a coffee, try and wake up, as I've only had about 4 hours sleep, 3 hours maybe. So yeah, wounded, but as I say, another bite, so there's something I can take from that, so I'm definitely doing something right. That's 4 bites in 7 nights, and 5 of those have been overnighters, so yeah. So yeah, fingers crossed I get another chance before they spawn, and yeah, just to see how they respond after this weed cutting, but yeah, not as happy. Well, I managed to get down for another night last night. Got down late, rods went out just sort of after 9. Obviously was keen to settle the score after losing that fish, but this is what the lake now looks like after the weed being cut. Almost looks like completely different water. Don't know if you can see out there on the island. That's where a lot of the weed is at the moment. But yeah, rods went out, nice drops. Definitely felt a lot more quiet. I see a few fish last night and this morning. There's been a bit of fizzing and what have you out there, but a couple of fish have been caught. One has been caught opposite, one down in the shallows. So yeah, no fishing over the weekend, and I'll be back next week for my overnighters. Hopefully settle the score and hopefully they don't spawn, but yeah, time will tell. So yeah, better luck next time. Good morning on a rather cold June morning. I can't believe this weather change. These cold northeasterlies just feel freezing. The fish still haven't spawned, so since we last spoke I ended up catching a 9-pound tench a few minutes after we spoke, which was really nice actually. I did weigh it and got it out for a photo. Beautiful little fish. And since then I've done another 2 nights in the same swim. I've managed to get in there each time, but since that weed's been cut, the lake does feel very different. They've not been as active, and the fish that have been getting caught have been getting caught in the corners or the shallows where the weed still is. To my knowledge, the open water swims haven't actually done a fish since the weed's been cut. But yeah, they're already a week overdue on spawning from where they were last year, so we've got a real hot weekend coming. The weather's meant to change, I think, as of today, going into the weekend, so I think they'll spawn this weekend. So this will probably be my last night, I would have thought. I'm not going to be able to get back until sort of early next week, so I think they would have gone by then. So I kind of want them to be honest, give me a little bit of a break and yeah, just get out of the way now, because it just feels like it's looming. Give the weed a chance to start coming back up again. So yeah, I think I'll be calling it a day here with this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Just a little bit of an insight into the new lake I'm fishing. I've enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to. Some beautiful fish, a lot of big fish in here now, and just nice comfortable fishing, which is what I wanted. Going into the future I will try and film a little bit more. Obviously I've not got loads of footage from these last few weeks. I knew it'd be tricky over here. It's a small water, it's busy, there's a lot of people walking around, it's quite tricky to film. So going into the summer months I'll try and get some more footage for the upcoming videos. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, and I'll catch up with you soon.